put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way real wealth is being real with self. My I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf. Cause the way the real wealth is being real with self. My I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can't do it by myself, so I'm asking for help.
Money. All you got is like wrong with being wealthy. I know he's like Kanye West says, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, this already a thing that God gives us the ability to create wealth. Yo, it's the love of money that's wrong. You don't want money so much, why you get up and go to work? Yeah, it's like this thing about all the things that we think. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. It's not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. And now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. Hcortez.
Good morning, Black World, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, Hcortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It is truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you live and direct from the Black Wealth Movement Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Guys, if you are serious about building generational wealth, then you absolutely want to join the Black Wealth Movement. $35, roughly $50 a month will allow you to run your own financial education franchise where we will teach you how to minimize your taxes, eliminate your debt, fix your credit, invest, all while earning monthly residuals at the same time, man. There's no better place that you can do that on the planet. The education that we get is literally coming from a collective consciousness of about nearly $1 billion, right? So the mentors and coaches that we have, one of the guys worth 600 million, the other guy worth a couple $100 million. We got a couple of deca millionaires that coach and train and educate us, man. And it's if you're serious about building wealth, man, you're wondering where I get all of this knowledge from. It's this system, man. I pay $50 a month to learn how to become wealthy from somebody who is extremely wealthy. And I've built a network of nearly 500 families, and we're all doing the same thing in various stages. We are grouped together. We lean on each other. We help each other. You might want to be in an environment like this if you're trying to build wealth. So that's what it is. Text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Again, text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Or if you don't want to text because you're scared I'm going to call you, I want you to go to moreinfo.joincorteznow.com, and you can get all the information about the movement, about what it is that we do, how we do it, and why it's a good fit for you and your family. If you're serious about building generational wealth, do me a huge favor, guys. If you're checking us out on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you have not already subscribed to the channel, as well as rate the show, man. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Doesn't make me never mind what you feel about the show, but let me know if you like it, if you don't like it, and leave me a comment if you think there's some things that we could do better on the show to improve, because I want to be the best that I absolutely can be. For you guys on Facebook, do me the same favor. Now, for you guys who don't know on Facebook, man, you know I get a notification when you share the show, right? Please hit the share button, man, so we can get this information out to more and more people. Some of you guys are motivated on this Monday, and I appreciate that, that you allow me to come into your living room, in your car, through your device. Hit the share button, and chances are there's other people that will like this information as well. And then make sure you turn on your notifications, because I not only go live for this show, I do other shows. I got a brand new show coming up with my wife called Hustle and Love. It's going to be fantastic. If you guys want to see the behind the scenes of what makes a financial health mentor tick, it's her. Yeah, it's her. She's the reason that I get to do what I do. But not only that, from the wealth building and the financial and the education and the entrepreneurial side, but how about running our family, man? She's the glue that holds that thing all together. So you guys are going to get to hear from her and her perspective. So you got to lock in to what we're doing now. So that's coming up. But Today's show is also brought to you by financialhealthinsurance.com. Guys, if you think that you cannot get insurance coverage because maybe you're a little overweight, maybe you had some health challenges in the past, or maybe you just don't have insurance because you think you cannot afford it, I want you to go to financialhealthinsurance.com and let us give you a quote, man, and see what we can do for you. I have licensed professionals all over the country. All you got to do is fill out the short form, and I will have someone contact you in the next 24 to 48 hours to get you a quote. You'd be surprised. Life insurance doesn't cost as much as it once did, and it doesn't cost as much as most people anticipate either. And more and more people can get covered with all sorts of health challenges. So if you think that's the issue, then give us a shot, right? Give us a shot. Do the responsible thing and get some coverage. Today's show is also, for those of you who are new, tuning in for the first time, this show is for risers and grinders, man. If you're not ready to get up, get out, and get something, then this ain't going to be for you today, man. This show is for people who are trying to build legacies for their family. If that ain't you, then we have to politely ask you to exit stage left, because chances are you're not going to understand what we're doing. You're going to be negative, and we have a low tolerance for negativity. I like to tell you each and every morning, if you've never seen a future billionaire before, yes, that's a billion with a B, and it's going down by 2027. I want you to take a screenshot, and watch your man work, because it is literally about to go down. So today's show is all about tips on being frugal, because I use a system to free up cash flow in my life, and not everybody wants to use that system. Not everybody wants to invest $50 a month to have their own business so they can minimize their taxes, which will free up cash flow that allows them to get out. I get it, right? But let me give you some other tips on being frugal and why these things will work and why you should be doing these things, because the name of the game, and my man Bless Ellis said it best, you have to minimize your lifestyle so that you can maximize your future. Minimize your life so you can maximize your future, right? So what are some tips that you can do and start looking at to literally increase your cash flow? Because a lot of us have good income, but we have poor cash flow, right? I want you to put in the chat for me this morning, income versus cash flow. We have good income, but poor cash flow, right? What that means is the income, right? It's Monday. Some of you guys got paid on Friday, or it was payday on Friday, but some of you guys didn't get paid. Why? Because everybody else you owe got paid. Oh, yeah, we going in this morning. See, it was payday on Friday for some of y'all, but some of y'all didn't get paid. What do you mean, Hcortez? See, it was payday. That means that was the day your company released your check into your bank account. But that's also the same day that everybody else gets paid but you, because your cash flow is all screwed up. Your money came in on Friday, and everybody you owe got paid, and you didn't have nothing left to pay yourself. Cash flow is negative, right? And I'm not talking about something I heard. I'm talking about what I know, man. I know what a negative cash flow cycle is like. This is why I preach. This is why I teach. What I do is so that you can improve your cash flow. Some of our cash flows are just negative because we have a negative mindset when it comes to money, right? We have a negative outlook because we've been socially engineered to believe that debt is cool. We're just going to die with it. And here's a perfect example. When I'm coaching and I'm talking to people and I'm like, man, we have a great debt elimination program. And you know what they say? Oh, well, I don't got that much debt, so I don't need that. And I said, okay. So you don't have a car note? Oh, yeah, I got a car note. I said, okay, you don't have any credit cards? Oh, yeah, I got a couple credit cards. I pay them off each month, though. You don't have any student loans? Oh, yeah, I got some. See, we've been socially engineered to not even recognize debt for what it is. I don't care why you got it. You got it. And that's the reason you don't have cash flow. I don't care why you got it. You should have cash flow. Since when teaching about the science of wealth, you should always pay better attention to your optics. A shave and a wardrobe change would do wonders towards your visual validity. Godspeed and hope. This helps. I agree, Mark. I absolutely agree. So Mark is saying that I should go ahead and maybe have on a collar shirt and maybe be cleaned up, right? It makes it aesthetically pleasing, and you guys will hear the message a little bit louder and a little bit clearer if I look like money, right? If I look like money, right? And that is true to some degree, right? It's true to some degree. But that's part of our problem, man. We spend a lot of time trying to look like money instead of learning how to build money. So, you know, to each his own, though, to each his own, right? So basically, if you're going to clean up your cash flow, you've got to understand some things about why it's important. See, when Payday Friday happened and your money went to everybody else, it's not bringing any money back to your household, right? If Payday Friday happened and when you got paid, your money went to the car note, your money went to the mortgage, your money went, and it went to these places that's not going to bring a return on investment, and you didn't have anything left to pay yourself. I want you to start looking at where your money is actually going and if it makes sense to continue to go there, right? So I'm going to give you some tips on how to live a little bit more frugal. For those of you who don't understand minimizing taxes, right? Your biggest expense is your taxes. If you don't have an idea of what you can do to minimize your taxes, then come on, y'all got to get with the program, man. You've got to get with the program. Find something that you can do in business. Create a business around a skill, passion, or a talent that you have. If you don't have anything to think about to create that, join the Black Wealth Movement. That's going to give you a business. Now you're going to be able to give yourself a pay raise of $200 to $600 per month. Take that $200 to $600 per month and then start minimizing your debt. Pay your credit cards off. Pay your car off early. Pay your student loans off. Double down on your furniture bills. Whatever you got, the more debt you get rid of, the better you increase your cash flow. The more debt you get rid of, the more cash flow you have freed up to invest and start building long-term generational wealth. Is everybody tracking? Now, once you do that, a lot of people on our team and a lot of people in our movement are doing that, right? We have a little over close to 500 families in our network that we're building, and we're at various stages of doing just that, right? So once you go beyond that, I've got some cash flow freed up. I'm focusing on debt elimination. When you get there, now you have to go to another level and start looking at your expenses. How do I currently live my life where money is bleeding away from me? Money is getting away from me. What can I do to minimize my life today so I can maximize my future? Number one, do not be afraid, first and foremost, to downsize. Right. One of the things that my man Bless Ellis said when I had him on my show, he said, Hcortez, I was doing it backwards. He said, I ran with a group of people so that when I started making a little bit of money, everybody was going to get these big houses, these 6,000 to 7,000 square feet houses. And I thought that was the thing to do. So I went and got me a big 7,000 square foot house. And it was killing him. He said it wasn't like he couldn't afford it, but he didn't need it. He only got it because everybody around him, that's what they were doing. They got a big house, so I went and got me a big house, right? And then he started looking at those big monthly bills that was coming in, right? Because you got a big house, it takes a lot more electricity to light the house. It takes a lot more gas to heat the house. A nice, big, pretty lawn. It takes a lawn care service to come and keep it pristine because you want your grass looking as good. See, that keeping up with the Jones and stuff, man, it miss me with that. Buy with that. We got to get away from that mentality. So he said, Hcortez, what I did was I had to reevaluate what I was doing. And I had to come to terms with the fact that it would make more financial sense for me to downsize. It would make more financial sense for me to sell this big old house that I do not need and go from 7,000 square foot to a something that's 3,000 square foot. Right? And then when he got into the 3,000 square foot, he realized the abundance and the increase of cash flow that created. And then he said, you know what? I really don't need 3,000 square feet. And he downsized again to something smaller that increased cash flow. Now, all of a sudden, he got all of this extra revenue, this cash flow stream that he's been able to invest and create $1 million net worth for himself. Some of you guys can't become a millionaire because you're spending all of your discretionary income trying to look like a millionaire. See what I'm saying? Some of you will not become a millionaire because you're spending the money that you could be investing that will get you there. You're spending all of your money trying to look like a millionaire. And that's killing us. That's killing us as a people, right? How many, and I'm going to go here, ladies and fellas, how many people do you know driving a foreign car, latest handbags, see, you can make good income and your income can allow you to afford those things, right? I know people making 6 figures, so they think it's only right that because I make 6 figures, I should drive a luxury vehicle. Because I'm making 6 figures, my wife should have $10,000 handbags. Because I make 6 figures, then my kids should go to private school. They should have the latest threads when they get there, right? And this is no knock, no disrespect if that's you. I'm just saying, if you were to minimize and not spend as much on some of that stuff, you would literally free up more cash flow to start investing so that you can get that stuff the right way. What is the right way, Hcortez? Robert Kiyosaki and Rich Dad Poor Dad said, when he wanted a new Porsche, he didn't take money that he labored for to go buy a new Porsche. He took the money that he labored for, invested that in an asset that kicked off the cash, and the asset paid for the Porsche. Right? We've said this on the show once before. If whatever you're making per hour, stop looking at you're spending money on stuff and start looking at you're spending your life on stuff. If you're buying Jordans with your labor, you're really buying Jordans with your life. So don't say I spent $250 on these Jordans. If you make $10 an hour, say I spent 25 hours of my life on these Jordans. Actually, I spent 35 hours of my life because you got to make $350 to get taxed $100 and then have $250 to pay. But so this is the mentality that we have to develop. So don't be afraid to downsize, right? I'm about to send my 4th kid to college, right? So it'd be just me, my wife, and my youngest son. You think we're not going to downsize? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It's just us. We don't need as much space and as much stuff as my children are getting older and trying to get out. See, I understand now cash flow management is more important than income. Do you need income? Absolutely. But you need to know how to manage that income so that you have discretionary funds to be able to create an emergency fund and invest for your future. Minimize your lifestyle so that you can invest or maximize your future. So what are some practical things that you can do to free up some money? Here's one thing that I'm going to do. I'm going to invest in a deep freezer. I want you to think about this. If you invested in a deep freezer, you guys on YouTube want chatting with me, man, let me know who's on YouTube, where you're from, and the name of the brand that you're building. If you had a deep freezer, in fact, just investing in cooking more, right? We've let our lifestyle spiral out of control to the point where all we do is eat out, right? And I'll take ownership of that as a leader of this family. I'm letting our lifestyle spiral out of control where we're so busy and that we don't manage our time well enough to cook on a regular basis. And because we don't cook on a regular basis, we spend literally 5 times the money that we would have to if we just prepared 4 meals a week. I want y'all to get this because some of you guys might be dealing with this and struggling with this. We spend 5 times the amount of money because we eat out because of our lifestyle. We're always on the run instead of taking time to prepare snacks that we can take with us on the run so we don't have to spend money out. Taking time to prepare meals ahead of time and lunches and things of that nature. Spend 5 times the money we would have to eat every week than we would if we cook. So some of you guys might be like me and you might want to invest in a deep freezer. What will a deep freezer do? A deep freezer will allow you to go to everybody in their city has a wholesale meat shop. Go to the wholesale meat shop, buy your meats in bulk, break it down, freeze it. Now every day, all you got to do is pull a main dish out of the deep freezer, put that mug in the crock pot, let that mug simmer, do what it does. Get you a couple side items to go with it, and bang, you can save a ton of money by investing in a deep freezer. See, I want you to go to look at 69 tips to be frugal or something like that. I pulled some of these tips from a couple different articles on the web, right? And I thought that was a really good one. Another one is you have to learn how to track your money. You cannot measure what you do not track. If the name, and now we know that the name of the game is to steadily increase cash flow. Well, you can't track whether or not your cash flow is increasing if you don't measure it, or you can't measure it if you don't track it. So track where your money is going. We have a great tool in the Black Wealth Movement called the Cash Flow Manager. Now, I use this tool to track my business expenses. But just this weekend, my wife sat down and we created our budget on this thing for our household. And now we're tracking our household expenses. And the thing is so nifty that as we enter every dollar that we spend into this thing, it's going to naturally bump it up against our budget. And every month, we're going to be able to produce an income statement to see exactly where our money is going. You cannot measure that which you do not track. How many of you guys have a spreadsheet or something where you track every dime that you're spending? We don't. We did. This is the first time in my life that I've ever given serious consideration to creating and maintaining a budget. Right? See, I was of the opinion that man, I'm just going to go out here and get money. And the more money I get, we're going to maintain our lifestyle. And that's going to, those problems are going to right themselves. Right. But no, you need strategy in everything that you do. And if you don't have a money strategy, if you're not tracking where your money is going, you literally will find that hundreds of dollars a month are bleeding away from you that you could be using to invest, right? There's something called lost opportunity cost. And this is what really made me start to really think about this. Are you guys familiar with the lost opportunity cost? What lost opportunity cost is, now that I understand how to get my money working for me via investing, even if I'm just investing in my own business. Lost opportunity cost says if you're not tracking your money and you don't know that $200 a month is getting away from you every month because of the lifestyle habits, because you don't have a plan, because you're not tracking, I don't just lose $2,400 per year. I lose what that $2,400 a year could have become had I invested it. Lost opportunity cost. Literally, I lost an opportunity to invest that $2,400. You don't know what that money could have become. Right? So you cannot measure what you don't track. So make sure you track your money, every single dollar, every single dime. If you do not have a plan for your money, somebody else does. Uncle Sam does. He's got a plan for your money. Big business has a plan for every dollar you get. So if you don't have a plan for it, they will. Right? So avoid late fees. This is where your plan comes into action. And this is me again. Because we didn't have a budget in place, and I didn't understand this until I really started studying my mentors and started paying attention. Because I was not paying attention to this, and because I was not planning, you let money get away from you. Example, this weekend, I had to move some money from my business account to another account. In order for me to go get the money from my PayPal card, because I didn't plan this properly, I had to go to an ATM. You guys know PayPal don't have their own ATMs for their debit cards. So what did I have to incur? A $3 charge to get the money from the PayPal account and put it into the other account. Because I was in a time crunch, no proper planning. Had I properly planned this, I could have transferred the money from PayPal to the bank account for free. But because I didn't plan it, it cost me $3. Now, that's just one scenario of poor planning in my life. What if I got 10 scenarios like that where I just didn't properly plan? And guess what? That one cost me $3. Another one might cost me $10. Another one might cost me $20 for not properly planning. If you properly plan, you can save yourself a ton of money. Guys, I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. I try to give you my transparent life where I'm failing and creating my empire, so that if it takes me 10 years to create my empire, if you're learning from my mistakes, you can build yours in 5. You can build yours in 3. You can build yours in 2, right? A lot of people say, Hcortez, you too transparent, man. Doesn't that embarrass you? Yes, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I'm a 43-year-old guy who's not yet a millionaire. With the intellect, talents, and the skills that I have, I should be a deca-millionaire by now. And that's embarrassing to me. So that's why I lay it on the line for you, so that you can understand how to overcome, learn from my mistakes, and transform your life and not suffer and go through the same mistakes that I've been through. So yes, it's embarrassing to say, man, I teach finance, I don't have a budget, and I could have saved myself $3 in that situation. Another situation, I could have saved myself 10, 15, 20. Stop playing. Get yourself a plan for your money, because when you don't plan your money, somebody else does. Right? Monica says, just happened to me this weekend. I missed the payment by hours and cost me $25. Right? And we say it costs you $25 because that's the tangible amount of the fee that you had to pay. But again, lost opportunity cost. What could that $25 have become if you had it and paid down a debt with it? If you had it and invested it, right? So avoid late fees at all costs. Know what you are paying for and why. In other words, study your bills, right? You got those bills coming in. Guys, listen, big business is very, very crafty, right? I'm not going to call them shady, but they're very, very crafty. And you could be paying extra fees, $5, $10, $15 a month just because you're not reviewing your bills. I'm not saying that they will on purpose not remove that charge when you fulfill an obligation. Hey, I paid this cell phone off, so this extra $20 a month should have came off my bill. But because I don't check the bill, I just pay it every month. For the last 2 years, they've been charging me $20 for a cell phone that I paid off 3 years ago. Again, you lost $20 a month because you ain't paid attention to your bill. Right? Paid your bill on time for the first time and 3 years. For the last 6 months, I've been paying my bill on time. But guess what? They so used to me paying it late, they still got a late charge on my bill. But because I don't look at my bill, I just pay it. Review your bills. Know what you're paying for and why. Double check all your bills, man. It's time to get serious about your money. Every red cent counts when you understand how to put your money to work for you. That makes sense? Is everybody tracking? Are we going too deep? Are we good? Every red cent, man. So I now understand how to track all my money, man, and the importance of it. So I want you guys to do the same thing. If you don't have the money to buy a program like the Cash Flow Manager, it's $12 a month. I can get you access to it or whatever. If not, create you a spreadsheet, something. Start tracking all of your money, every dime, so you can see the habit, see where your money is getting away from you, right? Apply the 30-day rule for those things that you think you want, right? The 30-day rule, this can save you a ton of money, right? Apply the 30-day rule. So if you think you want something, say, man, I got to have that. Man, that purse is the bomb. Man, those shoes, I got to have them. Okay, apply the 30-day rule. If you want them and got to have them today, you will still want and got to have them 30 days from now. And if you still want them 30 days from now, go get them. I can almost guarantee you 90% of the stuff that you got to have right now, if you apply the 30-day rule, you ain't gonna want that crap in 30 days. I almost guarantee you, man. If you apply the 30-day rule, hey, I really, really, really want to go to this concert. Want to get prepared for it, right? Okay. See if you really, really, really want to go in 30 days. Apply the 30-day rule. Stop buying on impulse. Because you know who's responsible for those impulses? The people selling you the stuff. See, we don't understand that marketing really, big business really understands the psychology of working people. They know what triggers to use to get you to separate from your money. I'm talking about they really, really, really know, right? What to do to get you to separate. They know how to generate and create all those warm and fuzzy feelings inside. Just like ladies have a 90-day rule, right? This guy's on day 1, day 2. I got all these warm and fuzzy feelings inside about this guy. 90 days from now, you realize he a jerk. And get from around me. Same way with big business. They get you. That commercial gets you all warm and fuzzy inside. Wait 30 days though, and see if you still want that stuff. You know, it's a bunch of crap. Here's a tip for in your home. Did you guys know that cleaning with vinegar and lemon is just as effective as cleaning with bleach and pine sol and all this other stuff? You guys realize that? So Again, we're talking about being a little bit frugal so we can free up some extra money because we got to tackle debt. So instead of you going to buy $3 bottle of Pine Sol, $4 on some bleach, you got a Lysol and your wipes and all of this stuff, man, get on that Home and Garden channel and learn how to create your own wipes, learn how to create your own cleaning supplies, and save you $100 a month. Save you $100 a month. Get you some vinegar, get you some fresh lemon, squeeze some fresh lemon in that vinegar and go to town. It disinfects, yep. And it sterilizes in a healthy way, because what we don't get, and I don't want to go too deep in this, man, there is a bacteria that is a healthy bacteria that covers almost everything on the planet. Lactobacillus, I think. And it fights all of the 6 or 7, because there's really only 6 or 7 really dangerous bacteria on the planet. Lactobacillus, because it is so plentiful, it literally protects us from the 6 or 7 dangerous ones. And when you clean with natural supplies like that, you can clean the bad and kill the bad germs without killing all the healthy lactobacillus. And that keeps your environment healthy, because you want that to fight off staph and E. coli and some of the bad ones, right? That's one of the reasons that you get sick when you go outside immediately after showering. It has nothing to do with temperature. It has nothing to do with temperature. We think that if I take a shower and I go out in the cold, I'm going to catch a cold. It has nothing to do with temperature. It has everything to do with you just recently sterilized your body and you cleaned off most of the lactobacillus bacteria that is good for protecting you in this environment. And because you sterilize your body, you now allowed other bacteria to have a way in without your natural protection. So the E. coli or the staph or some of these other bacteria that's out in the environment that jump on you every day and walks out of your house. But this time you walked out of your house without allowing the lactobacillus to cover your body, and you were able to be infiltrated by, all right, I said I wasn't gonna go too deep into that, but you can clean your place naturally, right? Baking soda and fabric softener makes Febreze. Wow, I didn't know that. Baking soda and fabric softener makes Febreze, right? So these are some of the things that you can do to save money, right? How about this one? Remember your parents used to say, sit your $$ down somewhere, right? Sit your $$ down somewhere. Well, I'm telling you that today. You're talking about being frugal, saving a few dollars. Sit your $$ down somewhere. Cost of gas is steady rising. And some of us spend hours in our car driving, going nowhere in particular. And again, this is where no planning affects you. You don't have a plan, so you run to the store and get something real quick. Because you didn't have a plan, when you get back home, you realize that you forgot something. Now you got to run back to the store because you didn't have a plan, right? So a lot of this stuff comes down to just planning your money. Hey, here's the things that I need from the store. I'm going to make one trip. I'm going to go to the store and get everything I need. That comes out of the budget. We solid. Now, when I get back, I'm going to sit myself down somewhere. I don't have to do a bunch of ripping and running all day, every day. I get sick of doing that. Man, honey, did you run out and get this? All right, babe, I got it. Bam, I go out and get it, come back. Oh, you know what? I forgot to tell you, dog don't have any food. Oh, dang. I got to run back out and get some dog food. Proper planning, guys. Be strategic with your life, man. This whole running around with your chicken with like a chicken with your head cut off, it's by design. This old work 8 hours a day. It takes me 10 hours to actually prepare. I have a little time for my family, school. This stuff is designed to keep us moving in a way that makes it easy. So when you're ripping and running all of that, like you start thinking to yourself, man, I don't have time to cook. Let me just grab a couple burgers and call it a day. I'm tired. Who told you were tired? The people who sell the burgers. Why are you tired? The people who sell the burgers put tryptophan in the food, which makes you tired. Huh? What? Wait, what? You guys know that the same people that makes the medication, Big Pharma, when they experiment and they're trying to find these drugs to affect things in the body, they also realize that these things do, since they know what these things do in the body, they say, you know what? We can sell this to the food industry. If we put MSG in the food, we know that MSG blocks the body's natural ability to send the I'm full signal from the stomach to the brain. So you keep eating because it blocks the signal that your stomach would naturally send to the brain and say, I'm good. But because that signal is blocked by the MSG, you keep eating. Who discovered MSG? The people who do the medicines for you. Partnered up with the people in the food and say, you know what? That's going to cause people to overeat. When people overeat, that's going to cause the body to break down in other sicknesses in other areas, and they're going to need to come to the doctor to get. Come on, man. We got to understand that this ain't no game, man. You don't plan your life, somebody else is. You don't plan your life, somebody else is. So you go eat a bunch of stuff that's packed with MSG. It blocks your signals to tell your brain that you're full. So you keep eating, you keep eating, you keep eating. Now that you keep eating and the things that you're eating, not only that you keep eating, right? You could keep eating fruits and vegetables, but you don't. You keep eating more and more junk. That creates autoimmune deficiencies. That means your body literally starts attacking itself. When you go to the doctor, there's nothing the doctors can do for an autoimmune disease. But they don't tell you that. They tell you, well, I think you have this problem here, so let me give you this medicine for that. And you go back and you take this medicine. And you say, this problem isn't getting any better, doc, but I also now recognize that I have this problem, that problem, and this problem. Okay, let me give you some medicine for this problem, that problem, and the other problem. Never even going back to the original cause. So now they're helping you treat the symptoms that were caused from the first medicine they gave you. They don't even talk about the autoimmune problem that you came in there with in the first place. You guys want to check out something cool, go out and watch Raw for 30. How you can reset your body if you went on a raw food diet for 30 days. Give your body time to clean out all of the toxins and all of the MSG and readjust. Your taste buds will readjust everything, man. It is, talk about saving money. Get yourself off those prescriptions. Talk about saving money. When you get off those prescriptions that affect your adrenal glands, which causes fatigue, now you can be more productive. Right? Now, this show is not intended to treat, cure, or diagnose any disease. That's not what we're talking about. I'm just saying, just understand what's happening to your life when you don't properly plan. Forks over knives is another good one. You know, if you don't properly plan, you can find yourself losing a lot of money. And if you're losing that money, the lost opportunity cost is immeasurable, right? Last one, I had a few more on there, but let me give you this last one. So sit still, cut the cable, right? I just completely denial fast, and I am not going back to meat. Good for you. Good for you. Yeah, forks over knives is another good one. Says you are right. I appreciate that, Nakori. So this last one is keen, right? Cut the cable. Cut the cable. Let me tell you what cutting the cable has done for me. I cut the cable in favor of a Fire Stick. So my wife and I, we're so busy trying to build this empire that we don't watch a whole lot of TV to begin with. But we do like to binge, right? This past weekend, I watched a couple movies. At night, you know, before we go to bed, she always queues up something for us to fall asleep to on the Fire Stick, right? Not only did it save $100, not only did it save $100, so I went on a plant-based diet for a month. You feel better, and yeah, edema, swelling reduced for me. Yep. I had Bell's palsy, went raw, recovered. I'm telling y'all, man, we might have to do that one day and just dedicate a week of shows. I'll get some experts to come in and we'll talk about that because I'm doing some stuff specifically for Black History Month, and I think health should be one of those. I might have to do that for us in particular. But yeah, I appreciate you guys sharing your testimonies. But here's what cutting the cable did for me. Saved me about $80 a month. That's first. But I can't even really count the amount of money that it saved me, because you know what you do not get on Fire Stick that you get with cable when you're watching regular TV? You don't get commercials. You don't get commercials. So how much more money is it really saving me because I'm not tempted when I do watch a little bit of TV that I do watch? My children are not tempted because they don't do that, right? Bethany's Story is a good movie to watch. A testimonial on Raw. Okay, good. Bethany's Story, Crazy Sexy Cancer. Young lady went from stage 4 cancer to living a healthy lifestyle now today. Because of that, again, we're not trying to diagnose, treat, or cure any disease with this show. Just putting some information out there for you. Watch at your own risk. But because we don't get inundated with commercials, because we have the Fire Stick, that curbs temptation for us to run out and buy stuff. Man, there's a lot of stuff that I don't even know exists out there because I don't have TV, regular TV. Another thing that it does, it cuts out the consumption of propaganda. See, a lot of stuff I don't even know that's going on unless somebody hit me to the T on Facebook, right? So I don't get the propaganda. And I know some of you guys will be saying, well, Hcortez, you need to know what's going on, the latest news and all that stuff. I promise y'all, I ain't watched news in about 5 years, and I ain't missed a beat. The one time I missed news was during the Mike Brown situation. I wanted to keep up with the protests and the things of that nature, and that was locally. But I promise y'all, you ain't missing nothing if you miss the nightly news. You ain't missing nothing if you miss those political shows that they trying to sway your opinion. You ain't missing nothing, man. And my focus has been crystal clear on the things that I need to do in order to build my empire, because I'm not sidetracked with a lot of BS. And that's what propaganda is really designed for. It ain't designed to make you necessarily believe something. That's a byproduct. A byproduct of propaganda is not necessarily to just make you believe a certain way. It's to get you off your game in the first place. Not necessarily to sway your opinion, but just to keep you distracted is the name of the game. Because if you're caught up in that, what Trump is doing, what he's not doing, what he said about Obama, where the Clintons fit into place and all of this stuff, and you're really into all of that stuff, what are you not into by default? the Black Wealth Continuum says that is the only truth that Trump said about the news is fake, right? So when I cut the cable, I didn't realize this. I was just trying to do it to save the money, right? But it has created something different for me because my kids don't watch. So imagine this past Christmas, and because my sons don't get the TV and the commercials, they didn't know what they wanted for Christmas. It's like, okay, just give me a few dollars, man. I'm cool, right? So those are I'm telling you, you get far better benefits from that. So those are some things that you can do practically to start cleaning up your cash flow. Mainly track your money. Take your money and start building wealth with it. But the first thing you have to start doing is attacking your debt. If you have not joined the Black Wealth Movement, then text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. Let me get you some information, right? I said there's a term for what he's doing to force our acceptance of the extreme. Yeah, to reset society's level of unacceptable. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. So the next person can come behind him and be equally as extreme without being a TV personality, and nobody's going to bat an eye, right? Nobody's going to blink, right? Desensitizing us is what they're doing. But yeah, minimize your taxes, so eliminate your debt. But if you've already done that, then let's look at some of these expenses that you can minimize, transform your life, and start planning what you do, right? Start planning better, and that's going to better affect your cash flow. Because again, late fees, stuff like that, that comes from poor planning. That's it, right? Overdraft fees, that's poor planning, right? Because that means that you're living above your means. There's some things that you need to cut out of your life because you just can't afford them, right? So plan that stuff better so that you don't have to keep giving away money that you will never get a return on. Get yourself out of debt. That's going to free up cash flow, build you an emergency fund, and then start investing like crazy. Keep telling everybody there's nothing wrong with you taking 10 years of your life and focusing on getting your money all the way right. When you look at the grand scheme of things, 10 years is just a small sliver of your life. You live to be 100. Those 10 years that you focus on getting your money right, you had 90 years to do a bunch of other stuff. But for a 10-year span, you were just laser focused on creating the right money habits that will build wealth for you on autopilot. That's what we're talking about today. Today's show is brought to you by Black Wealth Movement. Text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887 if you want to learn what our system is all about, or go to moreinfo.joinhcorteznow.com. Today's show was also brought to you by Financial Health Insurance. Guys, remember, GoFundMe is not insurance. If you think you cannot get covered because of some health challenges, let our team try to get you some coverage. If you think you cannot afford it, let us show you some basic things that you can cover. You at least want to have enough coverage to bury yourself. Don't put that burden on your family where they have to deal with your loss psychologically and emotionally, and then turn around and have to figure out how they're going to bury you as well, right? So don't do that. And all you got to do is go to financialhealthinsurance.com, fill out the form, and someone will call you in the next 24 to 48 hours. The phone number, 314-874-6887. Again, 314-874-6887. So I remember years ago paying $40 for a Whopper meal, live $5 for the meal, $35 for an overdraft. Yeah, never did that again. Yeah, life insurance is vital, man. Get yourself covered. So that's it for today's show, man. I am Hcortez, the financial health mentor to the Black community. I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. Everybody's favorite fatherpreneur. Until I talk to you guys tomorrow, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it. Each and every one of you. Peace out, y'all.